All right, peace, y'all. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Today is Wednesday, and I'm working. I'm over here working very hard today. I've accomplished a lot. I always stated of I don't know how long you've been following us, but you may have heard me say this. Like, if you don't have a list, you see this list, you see all the checks next to it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you see it, checks. It's a list with checks next to it. What does that mean? That's a list that I compromise for myself, and I check things off as I get them done. That ensures me that I'm getting things done. That ensures me that I'm moving the needle because running your own business, being an entrepreneur, it is one of the hardest things that you will encounter. So I treat it like a job. The same way when you check into your job, you have tasks that you must handle. We have tasks that we must handle. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite tasks is tax deed investing. Before I go there, today is Wednesday. Every Wednesday, now every Monday and Wednesday, because now we added on Acre Boys Farming. We have two training calls during the week. More work, but it's worth it, right? More work, but it's worth it. So Monday, Acre Boys Farming, that class we train as a unit every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just had one yesterday, our second week of training. Super excited the way that class is going. We had about 30 investors or 30 future farmers in that class. We had a nice turnout. And tonight is our Land and Legacy weekly training call where we strategize, look at land deals together, help everybody in the community. That call goes down tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight, what we will look at tonight on that call will be what I'm going to show you now, to show you what you've been missing out on, to show you why I'm constantly on here telling you to get involved so you can take advantage of some of these deals. So we're going to focus on our tax deed program, right? You maybe heard me mention what tax deed investing is, but I must reiterate it because this is social media and I'm not sure who's on the other end of this call and who knows what or what level you're starting at. So I assume that you're hearing this for the first time. So let's start from the beginning. Tax deed investing, we call that our entry level program. It is when a homeowner forfeits on their taxes, they lose it to the county or state. I'll speed this up. They lose it to the county or state. The county or state then, in returns, they have what they call a tax sale auction. There's three different types of auctions that they have, or three different labels that it falls under: a tax lien, a tax deed, or a redemption deed state. You should know what your state does, right? Do a Google search and find out what your state does. We focus on tax deeds because we found that that's the fastest way that we can get a deed in our hand. And once we have ownership of the deed, we can do what we want to do with the deed, whether that's build on the property or we would have to turn it to a warranty deed. And then we'll be able to build on the property. Then, if we wanted to take it to a bank and borrow against that property, or in the case of the Acre Boys, we flip our deeds for profit. So we're going to focus right now on this call. Stick with me. It's going to be a good call. You're going to like what I expose you to on this call. Don't go anywhere. You're going to like what I exposed to you on this call, because today I said I'm going to have a conversation about it, but not just a conversation. I'm going to show you. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you where you can get it from. I'm going to show you why you may be doing yourself a huge disservice by not getting involved. All right, let's focus on a list. First, I want to show you, I have to highlight this. I have to highlight one of my investors. This just came down the pipeline and I love to see it. I did a post about it. I love to see when one of my team members, they score, right? This is what we do this for. If team members are not having success, I don't have a successful program. So this is what we do this for. So I have to highlight this young brother. He says it in the writing. I finally sold my tax deed that I paid $1,400 for. I finally sold it for $8,000. Now, if you've been listening over time, I've said it will sell for you on the lowest end in the area that he's playing in for $5,000. We've had an investor sell hers for $15,000. We've seen them sell as high as $20,000. He sold his for a modest $8,000. Anybody got a problem buying for $1,400 and selling for $8,000? That will cover the cost that you paid for my program. That money will go back into your pocket, and you can do something with the remaining balance, the remaining profits. I suggest that you go out and get more. However, it is your prerogative to do whatever you like to do with your profits. If it were me, I would situate myself to go and buy two more in the same exact area that I bought this one from. Why? Because now he has proof of concept. He's completed a whole deal. He saw it all the way from the inception all the way to the exit. He knows how this area works. Once you start to learn an area, don't leave an area, especially if you turn to profit in that area. So I couldn't be more happier that he turned to profit in this area. $6,000 on it. We will call that a single. It's definitely not a home run, but it's a single. He's in the game. He's got on base. Now let's go for a double. How do we go for a double? We need to get 2 or 3 of these and start to flip these. So now what if you had 2 or 3 of these and they staggered? Let's say one sold this month. Let's say another one sold the next month. Let's say the next one sold the third month. Now you can see how, as a beginning investor, this is great side money. This is great extra money. You won't start as a professional, but you can come in and make some good sound money as a beginner, right? The faster you grow, the faster you can move, right? I wouldn't mind making an extra $6,000 in 1 month. And I'm sure many of you that's listening could do something with an extra $6,000. He says it finally sold. What is finally sold? Meaning that he had it on the market for 3 or 4 months. But that's all right. This is real estate. Sometimes these things sell. I've sold properties as fast as 3 hours, and I've waited upwards of 6 months to sell sometimes. It's not the point. The point is that it's sold, right? Would you mind, even if it took you 3 months to get it sold? So in 3 months, you got $6,000 for something you paid $1,400 for. You can't, well, I won't say you can in the stock market, but typically your money doesn't balloon from $1,400 to $8,000 playing the stock market. Typically it doesn't. So I'm not mad at that DOM, the days on market, 3 months for it, right? And how you drive a sale faster is you drop your price. You drop your price. You drop your price. I believe he started somewhere around 15, 16,000. And then you find the sweet spot for that area that you're playing in. Now, that area that he played in, and he knows they're selling, or they like the price of 8,000 over there, what should he do? Go target that same area, unless you don't like $8,000. If you want to make more, target a higher area. I wouldn't mind consistently making 8,000, because now that you have proof of concept of what that area is doing and what they like in that area as far as number wise, now it should sell a lot faster, because now you know how to price it. This is why I state it takes time. It takes time to get in the groove of learning the area. But once you learn it, you can stay in the area for your entire career as a tax deed investor. Promise you. Because what happens the next year? Another list of properties come out. And I'm here to tell you, this area that he's playing in, it's a hefty list. There's always properties on there. All right. Look at my other investors and my guys, because we're predominantly ran by women inside of my community. So these are 2 of my guys. This thrills my heart. You even see the date, June 24th. Just received my 3rd deed in the mail, feeling blessed. I feel blessed for them because, as I stated, this is why we do this. So people can take the knowledge and run with it. Everything that we learn, we impart into our community so they can take it and they can go and run with it. So I love reporting this kind of stuff because, as I stated, this is why we do this. We do this so people can see results. All right. People that look just like you, people that look just like me. If you're on the outside, all you have to do is make a decision. Do your homework on who you're listening to. If you feel we are for you, these 2 young men, they are not special. They don't have any special skill sets. I don't know that. Let me not say that. They didn't do anything special to get this skill set, but entrust in us. Took the information we provided, implemented, and these are the end results. So if you're on the fence, the biggest thing you could do for yourself is make a decision. Now, I promise I'm going to show you this list, and I am. So this list that I'm going to show you, right? Now, think about this. In our culture, we're leading, or our dollar is the leading dollar when it comes to going out. We spend the most: clothes, food, money, vacation, and all of that. So we'll take a vacation to Cancun. We'll take a vacation to Hawaii. We'll all these elaborate, lavish vacations that we plan for ourselves. And I like vacations. Me, myself, I like vacations. And I'm assuming most of us do, right? But we don't hesitate to invest in that. It's not even an investment for most of you. You're spending, right? We don't hesitate to spend. It's going to cost you for the vacation. It's going to cost you when you get there. It'll take you some time to get there, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4-hour flight, 6-hour flight, depending on where you're going. But if I told most people to take from where I stay, it's a 3-hour drive. In Pennsylvania, if you live in Pennsylvania, it may be a 1 to 3-hour drive, depending on what part of Pennsylvania that you stay in, what I'm going to expose you to. So I'm not going to show you a list that you can invest from home. This particular list that I'm going to show you, you have to drive to this auction. But will most people do it? Probably not. That's why I don't mind exposing the list, because most people are not going to do it. Most people, when they get off of this live, they're going to go back to scrolling, go back to the Diddy case, go back. Oh, Diddy's free. Oh, did you, girl, boy? I knew he wasn't guilty. You're going to go back to that, right? So I'm going to show you this list. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you this list, right? Y'all comment to me if you can see my screen as I share it. I want to make sure you can see my screen. Drop it in there. Y'all let me know if y'all can see the screen, so I'll know to proceed. Just want to make sure y'all can see the screen. Somebody comment to me and say, yes, I can see the screen. All right, you can see the screen. Hey, Rachel. Rachel says she can see the screen. I only need one. So here we go. So here's what you may be potentially missing out on. Here's a list. This is what I do for a living. I locate these areas that offer tax deed sales. I do this on a daily basis. I do it for my community. I do it for myself. More so these days, I do it for my community because I don't invest in a lot of tax deed sales these days. But this is where we started from. This is where the Acre Boys got their beginning from. The reason why I per se don't invest in them, because I do bigger deals these days. Let's just say I've grown up in the space, so I moved on to do bigger deals than these. But I don't frown on these deals because I'm not against making money at these denominations. So here's a list. This says repository list. This is from the state of Pennsylvania. I always say when I talk to anyone that lives in Pennsylvania, if you're unaware of what's going on in Pennsylvania, I feel bad that you just don't know, because Pennsylvania offers a lot when it comes to this particular space. Now, how Pennsylvania works, they offer 3 different auctions. They offer a first one that's called a judicial sale. The judicial sale is in person. It's a live auction. The second sale is a follow-up sale to the judicial sale that's called an upset sale. It's also in person, meaning that you will go there, you will bid in person, there'll be other investors there, and we never know how it's going to go in person. You may be successful, you may not be. It may be a lot of players there, it may not be. Prices, sometimes it all depends if it's a set bid or if it's an open bid, there's things that go into it that you need to know. You need to have done your homework beforehand to know what you want to bid on. It's just some things that you need to know. All right. Repository sales list is what didn't sell at the auctions. What you are looking at is a repository sale list. This did not sell at the auctions for whatever reason, right? That could be a good reason, that could be a bad reason. That's why you need to know what you're doing and what you're looking at. Because keep in mind, it went through two auctions, sales, and these properties didn't sell. Does that mean that these are not good properties? Absolutely not. It could just mean that this county offers a lot. It could just mean that nobody showed up. We never know, right? So we have to be good at looking and picking these lists apart and knowing how to do the business and knowing what we're looking at. Now, when I say there's a lot of things on this list, I'm going to show you there's a lot of things. As you can see, the list is lengthy. If you see on the bottom, it says 1,890 items. These are all properties. 1,800. I get excited when I see lists like this, right? How it's broken down. I'll show you how it's broken down. I believe it's broken down into 4 different auctions. I don't believe, I know that. It's broken down into 4 different auctions. First auction date, write this down if you're interested in going, August 22nd, 2025, right? Second auction date, November 21st, 2025. And then once you have your dates, now you got to go do your homework because this is an in-person auction, right? If this was not an in-person auction, which we don't typically, I don't focus on these in my community. We don't focus on in-person auctions. We only focus on properties that we can buy sitting from home. So let's look at one, right? You see the list is lengthy. This is nothing but opportunity here. Nothing but opportunity. Well, I see money. I see green when I see things like this. So let's look at one. I'm going to randomly pick one. Let's pick here. Now, inside of our community, how we view properties. Is this one I had up? All right. Right here. Here's the property. This is called a GIS map, right? This allows us to see properties across the country, throughout the country. This is what we use to view property, all right? You need to know how to use a GIS map. So I want to know, is it a good property? I'm not going to go into full detail of how I would evaluate this. More importantly, I want to show you what the prices are doing over here. So I would take this to what we call Zillow, which is a free site to use. Everyone has access to it. I would take the address. This property is directly across the street from our property. I would take the address. I would take it over to Zillow. I would plug it in. That home site will come up. And then we would start to do homework on the area. Now, as you can see here, yellow means things that sold. Red means what's on sale. Here's the property that's coming from the auction. As Ray has been screaming, the area sells anywhere. This area sells anywhere between 4,000 and 12,000. Just depends on what you get and where you get it, what side of the town that you get it in. So as you see here, things are on sale from what I said, from 5K, and I'll show it to you. $5,000. This one is on sale. Current date. This one is on sale for $5,000. Right next to it, someone decided to list theirs for how much? $10,000. Right next to it. This is on sale for $10,000. Now you're paying what I showed you here. This one here, you can get this one for $768. Right? Now you're saying, Ray, well, those are on sale, right? What better comp is it than what has sold? On sale gives us an indication of what the area is doing, but what has sold, no one can dispute that, what has sold. So I'll start to look around. Remember, I said yellow is what has sold. So these are homes. A house sold for 195,000 in the area, and not too far from where that property is. As we look, our property is there, not too far. Same kind of lot sold for exactly what I told you they'll sell for, $6,000. Right up the road, this lot sold for $6,000. Someone decided to sell and list theirs down here, which is a bigger lot. They have this one listed for $15,000, which I don't know if it's overpriced or not, but hopefully they get it. And you would dig around and you would go look around in this area and check out sales. Someone sold this one for 3.5, 3,500. We never know. One sold for 3,500. The same looking lot sold for 6,500. We never know, right? Anybody got a problem? Let me stop sharing. Drop it in the comments. Y'all drop it in the comments. Anybody got a problem with any of these numbers that you just seen on the screen? Does it bother you to buy for those prices, to buy for $600, $700, and then you can turn around and sell? Because I don't want you to think I come on here and I make this stuff up. I don't own Zillow. I don't own that auction. I've let you see the dates with your own eyes. I'll let you see all of this stuff with your own eyes. I don't own it. I'm just here to give it to you. I'm just here because I know how to function with these places. And I'm here to just give it to you. That's it. So when we come on here, I said today, let me give this to you so you can see this with your own eyes. So you can see what the air, and it's like 1,900 other properties on there. That's just one that I picked. Just one. So that's why I said I get excited, because I know how to comb through a list rather fast. I would break that list down and I'll even expose to you how you tackle a list like that. You have to be able to look at each side of the list. You have to look at the parcel number. A parcel number will identify the property, right? It'll identify an area. What I mean by that is, let's say that property that I just looked at, the parcel number was B1234. Right? When you see other parcels numbers in that area, they're also going to say B1235. Then the next one will say B1236. The same way where you live at, and wherever you live at now, your home has a parcel number, and that's how it's spelled out. Now, anytime that you see the parcel number change, like if it went to C12345, C probably represents a different side of the town, or a different side of that county, or a different side of that subdivision. So you have to know how to read parcel numbers and recognize what they stand for. This is how you move through a list fast, right? And that takes time. That takes experience. That took a while for me to get that good, all right? So once we know that, that allows me to move through a list rather fast. Because now I can say C stands for this side, D stands for this side, E stands for this side. I can do homework. What has the most value? Because I want the most value. What has the bigger properties? I want the biggest properties that I can get first with the most values. Then we'll compromise a list, and that's how we go tax deed investing. And then we'll spend money, see if we win the bid. All right? So that is Tax Deed Investing 101. And guess what? We do the same thing inside of our community, except we don't go to the auctions. We do this from home. I personally give you these lists. I give you lists just like you saw, that you can go comb through those lists. Soon as you're inside of the program, I suggest that you learn how we do things, learn how to use a GIS map. We give you all instructions on all of these things. Then once you have all of these things, then go get your bank ready, pull the plug, get a property, do one at a time, unless you're built different, unless your budget is high, maybe you can start with two. But if you're working with a limited budget, do one property, let it get sold, right? Get an understanding of the space, then do two, then do three, then do four. And then when you're comfortable, then you can buy 3 and 4 at a time. Then you can buy 5 and 6 at a time once you're comfortable, all right? So that's what I want to impart into you today. I'm going to give you that list. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Let me grab it. If you're on Instagram, comment OTC and you can get that list for absolutely free. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, I'm dropping the link now. You can copy, paste, go visit the site, go read through it, see if you can get an understanding. If you don't understand it, that's where you probably would be a candidate for mentorship if you don't understand it. Sometimes as a new person, we all had a first day. I remember my first time looking at these lists. You have to know what to plug in. You have to know the certain definitions of what things mean. So you may be a candidate for mentorship if this list overwhelms you. If you are an experienced investor and didn't know about this spot, there you go. It's one on the acre, boys. Have at it. All right. So I'm going to shut it down. I got 2 hours to just get something in my stomach and relax for a second before this training call starts at 7 p.m. All right. Anybody, y'all see the phone number on the screen, 1-877-250-7778. If anything I said tonight resonated with anybody, contact us and get involved. Peace, love.